Greetings, fellow Brigade 3. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Floodland, Episode 2, Fire Brigade. Hacksaw also lets you demolish some of the wood-based debris that is out here. So these boat wrecks and yachts and this house, decayed house ruin, I'm demolishing. What's the song called? I'm pretty sure it was composed for this game, so I actually couldn't figure that out. I was making sure that it wasn't copywritten for streaming reasons.
Won't make us forget. The smile will come day, paint the wrinkles on a face, and the pain of yesterday will make us say never again. Maybe tomorrow brings the seas blown by the wind. Maybe the sun hides behind the hill when we once betrayed. Ooh, but this day just wouldn't end. Some try to recollect.
So what I've done here is I've set up small storage to expand my radius, which is in blue. And I'm going to employ 2 of the people from my initial storage into this new small storage so that I can send them out to explore. And for now, I am ground-bound. I don't have boats, so I can only explore land. But you can also see that I've cleared out some of the debris, the decayed house and the yacht here. Breaking them down with the hacksaw technology I unlocked. And I've also told my stockpile workers to start clearing the dead trees around, which will yield extra wood, which is nice. And here, I have found the old radio tower. So in order to reclaim it, I need to develop the old radio tech, and for that, I need rubble. So I need to get 25 research in order to, or 26 in order to get the reclaimed radio tower. And there, the explorer shoots up a flare, signaling that they have found something. Looks like a bigger island when I zoom out. Yeah, the initial starting island is pre-generated. It's not procedural. It's not random, and it is larger. But the other islands that are around here, except for one other, are randomized as far as I know. And then there is the island. Well, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's another island that is not procedural. So over here, there will be a lot of other buildings that these people working in the small storage will reveal and allow me to get some more science. So here's a ruined house, or another ruined house, building remnants, another ruined house. And there's something here as well. And then some houses will have what is called an interesting place, which is sort of like a collectible or memento or special something or another. So they're always worth going to. Looks like Big Island. Yeah, we're in Hilo now, right? And this here is an indicator that the dead tree that's in the water, I don't have the technology to go into the water because it requires me to have diving equipment. So not all resources are going to be obtainable early on. You'll need a little bit of extra research, perhaps. I'm going to shut down my logger and put the logger instead in the small storage over here. Because I have a lot of wood that I am scavenging, and I don't feel like I need the logger working. I'm also going to remove one person out of the forger home and stick them in this small storage as well. Because my forager, I am maxed out stockpile of safe food, so I don't need them standing around leaning on a shovel. You know what I mean? So I've just collected another old world relic, and I will be converting this from academic debate, which is a slow passive, to active study. And then employing everybody that just fired from the study over to this small storage, because this small storage is the one searching and scavenging the ruins here. Now this interesting house over here is a bit too far from my the second small storage. It falls just outside of the radius. So I would need yet another storage in order to search it. And there are people living in this ruined building. So I'll search there as well. I like people. People are good. So this is it might kick me into a bit of a tutorial, but this is currently my starter district. It just unlocked the district overlay. And I'll talk a little bit more about districts when I have another clan. My water is getting kind of low, so I'm going to move one of these storage workers over to the water still. It would also not be a bad idea for me to set up yet another water still, but set it up next to this storage here, because it can be literally next to the storage, allowing the water still to work even more efficiently. The initial storage, because it's sort of surrounded by mostly land initially, isn't meta or ideal for water hauling. So, meaning it might be worth abandoning this still at some point. My attention is needed. It is an encyclopedia clipping about a coronal mass ejection. And there's 20 such clippings, FYI. So here's the still, and I am actually going to close this still down and stick those two workers in this one instead, because the haul path is a lot shorter. And more attention. There are people hiding in these ruins. They're willing to join us, but I have to give them water. Sure. Okay, so 10 more people have joined me, and they joined Brigade 3 on my starting society. So with these new people, I am going to set up yet another water still right next to the storage here, because I was already having trouble providing water for everybody, so with more people, it's going to be more trouble. And I'll start employing them around. I do now have, let me switch this back over to academic debate. I now have exactly the 26 science needed to unlock the radio station. So let's go do that. So I'm going to unlock Rubble Tech, and then unlock Reclaimed Radio Station. So Rubble Tech allows me to collect rubble from ruined buildings. I would need to upgrade the sorting hut technology, which is in growth, to a sorting lodge, which requires 10 more research, and that will allow me to start collecting rubble, which I use for rubble level technologies. But now I have the ability to rebuild the reclaimed radio tower, which is the current quest priority. And I need 200 rubble, 400 wood, and 800 rubbish. Another thing to note is some of these buildings here, let me hide the interface again. Some of these buildings will have indicators that there is additional resources to be found in here, but I need, in this case, lockpicks in order to open that up. And then this one also requires lockpicks. And there is a whole bunch of extra items like that. So it is scaffolds, ropes, thermite, lockpicks, electronic chips, and TNT. Those are the specialty items. And you can see what you have on the top here. So I have one lockpick and one scaffold. And until you're able to manufacture them, they're of course a limited resource and you should not waste them. Alright, I do now have 10 additional homeless people. But instead of building houses where I initially set up houses, I'm going to set up a small storage over here in this spot, and then set up houses around that storage once it's built. And here's my new water still, making sure that I don't run out of water. Some of these houses I can actually knock down for wood and rubbish. Right now, my wood is completely full, my stockpile of wood, so I have nowhere to put it. I will have somewhere to put it once this small storage gets built, though. So now I have somewhere to put it. And I'm going to move most of these workers, all but like 2, over to this small storage over here. Because this is a lot closer than the other one. But I'm going to keep the other one. There's no harm in keeping that. So over here, if I want to house the people that that I just relocated, I will build some houses. So I'm going to build 4 houses, and that will house the 10 people that I have. And as I said before, the storage here links to all the storages, and that's even true if I had storage on another island. You do have to set up piers to be able to move people from island to island, but storage is sort of instant and everywhere. Probably for ease of play. Alright, and now I can search this ruined house over here, because it was previously a bit too far for my second storage to be able to reach. So, once these tents are built, I'm going to start saving up for the rubble and the rubbish in order to get the reclaimed tower. So in terms of rubbish, that's pretty easy, because there's a lot of rubbish in the water here that I can tag and flag to be collected. And then rubble will just be small broken down buildings. The larger broken down buildings, you cannot scrap for rubble. You have to collect it the slow way. My attention is needed. White dove. We found something. It was in a cage, barely alive. So in indicators like this, it will actually show you what will make the people happy, which reduces unrest. So in this case, feeding the dove and freeing it will make Berkut 3 happy. And there's a lot of choices that won't make all of your clans happy. Having clans that are similar to one another help to keep them happier. which is why we will not be allowing old world clans in our settlement. So I'm going to freed it and let it go. And as you can see, 30 people got a new status, placated. And that removed 9 unrest from Berkut. So now there's no unrest, which is a good thing. There we go, everybody's housed. So here is an effort to just manually grab rubble until I hit 200. And the rubbish is coming in pretty quickly as well. Yep, already have the 800 rubbish required for the radio tower. So now we just need the rubble. And most of these houses can be knocked down with a hacksaw. Some of them require, like this one requires TNT. So it's going to be sticking around a while, because you don't tend to get TNT very early on. The Steam reviews are pretty harsh regarding performance. Yes, there is a serious performance problem with the game. And I will be saving and rebooting from desktop often. Like maybe roughly once an hour, hour and a half or so. There are like memory leaks in the game. And then also one the autosave feature. So to speak about the performance issues that are happening right now, it's mostly the autosave feature, which is brutal. Once you have the game up for about 60 to 90 minutes, every time the game autosaves, it takes like 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe not that long. Initially, it takes like 30 seconds. But then if you have the game up for like 5 hours, your autosaves will start to take like 3 minutes, which is ridiculous. All you have to do is save and then exit to desktop and reboot it. And they are working on those issues. But I think most of the negative reviews are a result of that. So it's not that the game isn't fun, it's just that slower computers and people that don't reboot the game often will suffer a lot of performance hits. So I have all the materials that I need for the old radio tower to be reclaimed. So let's go ahead and build it. I think I'm actually just going to keep this overlay off because there's not like a good spot to have that up normally. But Nonsensical Jellyfish, thank you for the sub and the follow. Now, if you're wondering why I'm doing academic debate versus studying the old world relics that I have a good reason. Don't worry, it's not an oversight. I'm leaving it purposefully. What a great name. Yeah, no kidding. It's a brilliant name. Alright, looks like I'm a little low on rubbish, so let's go collect some more. And all the materials have been delivered, so in the next day or two, this radio station should be up. And then we'll have... What are you even barking at, dude? Who knows? Just Yoda things. Research. I can unlock Shellfish Post. Or Shacks. I don't need either of those at the moment. Oh, yeah, they finished. There it is. Use the radio to locate remaining groups of scouts. When you collect all the materials close by, do you have to keep exploring to find more? Yes. Yes, you do. So I'm going to use a car battery to send out a radio transmission. and it has found my scouts in a flooded factory. Huzzah! The radio tower is up and running. It turns out it was built by a company owned by Ivo Garza, the head honcho of the Rebirth program. So, I need to send out an expedition to the factory. Got it. And then bring them back to the settlement. Alright, so in order to do this, there's a few things I actually want to do first, knowing what will be required. So, when you add people, they happen to require houses, I do believe. So I'm going to preemptively construct some houses before my scouts go out, so that the people that do get the opportunity to join us aren't immediately homeless. The other thing I want to do is to set up an additional fishing dock, because if we're adding more people, we will have more mouths to feed. So I'm going to set up a fishing dock here in order to be able to employ more fishermen to feed more mouths. And the way expeditions work is at the Reclaim Radio Tower, you can employ unemployed people or idle people to become scouts for you. And I will show you that once I have the infrastructure for our newcomers set up. Trying to think if there's any research I want at the moment. Yeah, let's get a sorting lodge. So a sorting lodge is an upgraded sorting hut, and it will allow you to collect rubble or rubbish. It's up to you. It can collect both. Well, it can collect one or the other, and you can switch between the two. MSDM, thank you for the bits. Cheers. Tusk was so happy that you cheered that she came blitzing in to join us. So at the moment, my bottleneck is mostly rubbish, I would say. Wouldn't be a terrible idea for me to get yet another rubbish collector as well. But I think I'm going to want to make this here, this sorting hut, a sorting lodge first. What was that cowbell noise? Ah, who knows? Oh, there's a whole big pile of rubbish there. That will help. Hey, Raoul with Cheese. Thank you for the rain, man. Catching me playing a brand new game. Some Floodland. Man, if I could speak. May I assume you were PZing, or was it something different today? Oh, no, PZ. My assumption was correct. Welcome. Always a pleasure to have you and your crew here. Here's a little blurb about the game, if you want to read. And right now, I am working on setting an expedition to a second clan. So this game is a post-apocalyptic survival game where the world flooded, would be the TLDR. Yeah, I'm joined here by both my little Spiffo mascot Yoda, and then Tusk, Hi. She wanted to hold my hand. So the tents that I wanted built just got built. Let's get the sorting lodge next. And the sorting lodge also has room for someone that has fortitude, which improves its efficiency. So I'm going to employ 3 people in there. And then here, as you can see, you can select the mode. Right now, we're low on rubbish, so I will have them collect rubbish. But I built this sorting lodge in this spot because this spot also has rubble. And there are other things to collect later on, like metal scrap. So I don't have metal scrap available on my starting island. It does require you to travel elsewhere for it. I think at this point, my water's pretty bad. So before I have new people show up, I am definitely going to want to get another water still so that nobody dehydrates, because I'm down to 16 water right now, and that's too low. This fishing dock I'm going to close. I don't need it up just yet. I also might want to get a second kitchen going as well. So I'm going to set up a second field kitchen for when the new people come, because I will be likely doubling my source of risky food, which means unless I want people to get food poisoning and start vomiting everywhere, it's going to be important to be able to cook that. Also, just because I know it's going to happen, I'm going to unlock medical tent. Just trust me on this one. We're not sick yet, but usually when you interact with new people, they give you their own respiratory diseases. So we're going to get a medical tent. At least 1 medical tent, if not 2. So there's definitely more setup to be done before I go. Now, if you didn't have the foresight of having played this before, you're not going to crash and burn heading to this factory without doing the setup that I've just done. You'll be fine. I just know that what's coming, so I'm just planning ahead. But the game doesn't go, you weren't prepared. Prepare to die. It doesn't do that. Because I have played some games that do that, and you're like, cool, so this is a game where I have to save scum constantly. Neat. And yeah, I hate that when games do that. How many meds do I have? I am going to use my lockpick to unlock this ruined store, because this ruined store has medications that I want to gain access to. So here's my medical tent, and there's 2 modes. Clinic. Clinic actively tries to cure people, and then there's isolation ward, where you just feed them and water them and hope that they get healed. So clinic is going to be a way better, a way more effective method to cure people if you have medicine. If you don't have medicine, then you have to do isolation. Get some more water? Yeah, I'm literally in the process of building another water still. And it's done. So let's go ahead and employ 2 more people in this water still. I'm not even going to be able to set up an expedition party without additional water, because when you set up an expedition party, you have to allocate food and water for them. And if you don't have the food and water, you ain't going nowhere. So that will be done. Another thing I could do is, if I do find it hard to provide water for everybody, I could look to try to improve my water still to a water purifier. That would require me to have Planks Tech, which requires 25 research. So it's going to be a minute before I get that done, but that would be a good investment. Generally speaking, upgraded versions are more efficient than their downgraded counterparts. So it's better to have a few upgraded water collectors than many unupgraded ones. And then also, the upgraded versions will allow for specialized slots. So the water still, for instance, eventually gets a erudite specialization slot, which you can see here, erudition. And if you have a few erudites working in a water treatment plant, or a few discipline working a water treatment plant, it's going to be much more efficient than just general workers. So there's a lot of ways to sort of fine-tune the efficiencies of work facilities, allowing you to get more bang for your buck with a small population. Alright, that store got searched. And once the water is up to maybe like 30-ish, I might be impatient and make yet another still. Because the water amount is just not budging. If I had more lockpicks, I'd lockpick this house and grab the portable water in there. That would help. But nope. I do not have more lockpicks. So here is yet another still. And let's pull one person from storage and one person from the sorting lodge and stick them in here. So I have 8 of my 30 people collecting water right now. It's actually kind of like End Zone and World Apart, ratio-wise. I just realized. Alright, water is definitely kicking back up now. Eventually you're given governance, which allows you to enact laws to ration food, ration water, etc., etc. But I don't have that just yet. Okay, so we've got 51 or 54 water. So I'm going to fire 3 of the people into the study and put them into a new expedition. So it allows you to select what type of person you want in the expedition, and it allows you to select how many rations they're going to have. So I'm going to ration them for 7 days. And then I'm going to put the expedition camp over here next to the flooded factory. The game, this is one of those things that causes a bit of lag. I was talking about performance issues with this game earlier that they're working to improve. When the expedition camp gets there, the game's going to have a bit of a hiccup, as you'll see. Did I get the water from the water tower yet? I have. In fact, I'm going to use my thermite and blow up the water tower. I have 3 thermite, so I'm going to use one of my 3 to get some metal from that water tower. So then if you want to track your camp, you can locate Pathfinder Camp, and they will travel over water to get there. So right now they're preparing, and they're about to leave. So here they are. Here they go. Choo-choo! All aboard. Kind of looks like the, what's the name of that, river garbage collector in Baltimore? Like Bodie McBoatface? You know, with the one with the giant googly eyes? Kind of looks like that. Okay. And will you lag? No, wasn't that bad. So now that they're there, you're given a little indicator that they've arrived at camp and that they're idle. And before I actually search the factory, I'm going to have my scouts poke around the island that they're on to explore it so that I can get a fuller understanding of what's here. And there's a really good reason for that. As soon as I contact the people in the factory, I'm going to be given the prompt of whether to add them or not. And if you add them, then you're feeding them. So do your search and exploration first, because as soon as you add people to your Pathfinders, the rations that you have for 6 days, when all of a sudden you add, like, let's say 20 people, will be rations for 1 day, and you will have to go home or have them starve. So, do your recon first. It's going to benefit you. So in this case, I am going to scavenge this industrial hull for rubble, scrap, old war relics, medication, radio batteries, plastic textbooks, and a lockpick. You're half expecting Kevin Costner with his like little finned feet to be here. Good old Waterworld. Yeah, it's actually a lot like Waterworld. I'll grant you that. And then once you recon things, you'll be able to search them. And everything that you see here, all of this like random debris, can be either be collected or harvested or something. So there's not a lot of terrain things that just can't be interacted with. It's just I don't necessarily have the technology to do it. I want you to explore here, because there's... Oh, there it goes. Rooftop garden. Search it. Your Pathfinders have a resource capacity of only 750. So once you hit 750, you can throw away resources, which is a really annoying UI where you just have to hold down the mouse button for a long time. It'd be a major complaint to their UI that I have, because it should just be like hold control and click and you throw away the whole stack. But nope, they make you hold the button for a long time. But yeah, there's basically nothing on this island apart from this warehouse, this rooftop garden, and the large factory that I'll go to last. There is one more thing I want to set up here. So in growth, go to sorting lodge. Oh, actually, sorting hut. The reason I don't want a sorting lodge for this location is these rubbish piles here. There are no rubble around it, so there's no point in having the lodge. The lodge is the one that allows you to collect rubble. This is just rubbish for debris. And then over here, I will do the sorting lodge, because there's, as you can see, there's rubble around here. So this is just, I'm setting up workspaces for when I do add people to my population for places for them to work. Because idle people provide no benefit. It's not like they recreate or something. They literally just sit around doing nothing. So this Pathfinder camp is just about full of resources. They're about 633 out of 750. And I'm going to now start searching the flooded factory. New clan discovered. Fire Brigade. There are people living in there, and I'm going to accept them. But they are sick. So now, this Pathfinder camp is much, much larger. There's 13 Fire Brigade as part of them. And I am going to have them gather as much as they can to fit in the resources aboard, and then to head home. I am also going to add another medical tent over here. Maybe in this location. Alright, so now I'm just about given the indicator that storage is full. And it's full now, 750 out of 750, so pack up and return back home. And you can see the whole group is now traveling back to their radio tower. And that will satisfy my current assignment. Do you go to war with other factions? You'll just have to wait and see. And relations between Fire Brigade and Brigade 3 have started to deteriorate. So, if we take a look at the clan profile here, they are New World Liberty, and we are New World Unity. So, we're both into New World, but don't necessarily see it eye to eye whether it's collectivism or individuality. And it can be actually pretty tricky to satisfy both. The New Worlders are also fortitude and precision. They're getting precision because of the Perkut 3 leader. Normally they would just be fortitude. So we have to kind of decide how we want to specialize them as well. And that's something that we'll eventually do. But here they are, and they are about to enter our workforce. And ka-chunk! They brought 13 new people, but an epidemic has started. So we have a coughing epidemic. And if we mouse over here at the active epidemic, the start of the epidemic was the August section, which is where we currently live, and there's currently 5 cases. The disease spread risk factor is 9 out of 100, so it's a pretty mild disease. And as long as I have medical tents to accommodate the sick, we should be able to cure it pretty easily. Thank you for tuning in to Floodland, which originally streamed live on Twitch November 16th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind that the series has since ended. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodomont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rhodomont.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel. I'll catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell.